everybody, you're watching Robert, Sidestep Adventures, and today we are rained out. Let's see what we can find. Stuff like this has always fascinated me down dirt roads. Seeing an old farm, old Ford truck with the hood still up. Just neat stuff like that. An old wood outbuilding right there, a log outbuilding. I think that's cool. This was somebody's little farm. And now it's all just kind of gone by the wayside and abandoned. An old farmhouse up there, still with a screened in front porch. And just down the road a ways, we find another old structure, another person's old farm. I can't tell if that's a house or a barn. As you can see, it's completely covered in this vine. Look at these pretty flowers. I believe it's a house. That's what it looks like from here. Not gonna get any closer, but it's just interesting to see all of this people's farms and houses, homes. And now they're just all forgotten and growing over. I mean, you say the same stuff over and over again when you see these places, but the feeling never goes away. All right, so today we're visiting the cemetery that served a community that's now long gone, known as Botsford. I know very little of this community, but Brian over here has done a little bit more research than I have. He actually brought me out here today, so I'm gonna find out what he knows about it.
I really don't know that much about Botsford, other than that it's not far from Plains. And if there was ever a town center of Botsford, as far as I'm aware, it's long gone. I haven't been able to find much about it online other than a name with almost no details. But the interesting thing is, it's a community that's long gone. Physically, there are pieces of the community left in houses that are returning to the woods, returning to the earth in the woods, decrepit old houses. And there was one that we saw, it was an old farmhouse, a very small one, that somebody has restored and is living in, which is a wonderful thing. But all that really remains is 2 cemeteries. And Botsford is a ghost community. There are a few more modern houses around, but the community of Botsford, as it was, is no more.
It's interesting how the name is on what we would consider the back side of the tombstone, while the front has a footstone in front of it.
That is interesting, and I've seen that before It seems to be more common on older graves. Like this is 1894, and when I say older, I'm speaking in relative terms of usually graves predating the American Civil War as a good time frame, the 1860s, have the names on the back side like this versus the front side of the tombstone. I don't know why that is, but it's interesting to see. Anyway, here we have Peter Faust, died June 7th, 1894, aged 85 years. This grave is unmarked. And it's interesting out here, all these souls of a community that's now long gone. And this stone should obviously be sitting up here. It's fallen at some point, and someone has set it back up down there. This is Sally, wife of J.W. Jackson, born January 30th, 1850, it looks like 53. Died. Gotta clean that off a little bit to see what that says. It says died April 15th, 18, looks like 88, yeah. So she died relatively young.
Look at the decorativeness of that.
Yeah, it is. Very interesting, very pretty tombstone.
More decorative than some of the other ones out here.
Yeah, it is. And here's another grave, again with the name on the back of the grave, or what we would consider now the back of the grave. This is David H. Green, born December 23rd, 1862, died August 13th, 1890. A child's grave over here. It's an infant son of D.G. and Victoria Brannan. Interesting. Another cemetery we recently visited was the Brannan family cemetery. The headstone's kind of loose, so I don't touch it anymore right there. But it was B-R-A-N-N-O-N, not E-N. Whoa, I almost stepped in this one. There's an unmarked grave right there. You can see the bricks just right there. And they've obviously sunk into the earth right here. Well, I almost didn't even see that one. Before too long, this one will be completely covered up. This is not a big, there's a little bit of an indention, but no major telltale sign that there's a grave here other than the bricks. And once they're covered up and overgrown, you won't know there's a grave here. Looks like someone is kind of just gonna upset some of these bricks a little bit, so take them out of the sinking in that they're doing, kind of upset that a little bit.
Yeah, sad thing, you have no clue who's buried here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in a records room somewhere, but
Yep, maybe.
maybe, yeah.
And again, even though these are clearly marked, there's no name on them. That row of 5 unmarked graves. Yeah, there's another brick. Probably another grave here.
Yeah, probably all out here.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, it's a sunken area.
Yep.
This area is full of history and graveyards, and I'm sure that every place is, but because there's so little development out here, they haven't been covered over.
Yeah. This is J.W. Bronton, Broxton, sorry, Broxton. Born March 18th, 1862. Died, I can't read that. Not because I can't see it. Maybe it's the angle. Looks like, not sure what that says exactly. It's the style of writing that's got me on that one. but 8th, 1892.
Let me see.
I'll let Brian study on that one. And we'll check this one out that's in the trees here. This is another Broxton. Let me sit down so I can move this tree. We got Maddie Broxton. October 8th, 1862. November 8th, 1911. It says, blessed are the dead who die in the Lord. Blessed are the dead who die in the Lord. It took me a minute reading that. I've got another one. Brian's still trying to make out what's on that one. Got another one in the woods here. If we can get to it. Look at that big old cedar tree. Remains of a cedar tree, rather. It's interesting. I hope you can see this all right. It's kind of dark in here, but I just checked my screen. Got a water drop on it. Let me clean that off real quick. Clean that off with the official Sidestep Adventure t-shirt and lens cleaner. Anyway, this is RS Callaway. October 13th, 1838. December 5th, 1913. It's interesting, actually a newer grave than those. Is more covered up. Some newer graves over here have James J. Everett, November 3rd, 1853, April 19th, 1923. And his Maddie Randall Everett, September 11th, 1858, died April 29th, 1950. This is probably one of the newest grave out here that's marked, judging from the style and all the other ones. I haven't read them all yet, but maybe not. There's this one right here. This looks like a newer stone. This is Margaret Lassiter. Unfortunately, this one's fallen in a great deal. I can tell you her.
I wonder if...
And try to... Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. See, December 5th, 1854 to January 29th, 1934. I would wager that this is a... maybe not, it could have been put here in the 30s, but it looks to me like it's a newer stone.
This marble.
Yeah, newer style.
Yeah.
Marble or granite, polished granite. But need a way to prop it up a little bit so it's not sinking into the ground so much. I would use that piece of brick right there, but I don't want to disturb it. It might be marking another grave.
Wow.
It's interesting to see the line of bricks outlining these graves. This is our mother, Elizabeth J., wife of Amos Lassiter, born December 19th, 1829, died December 15th, 1902. I wonder exactly when this community died. You don't have any idea, do you?
No idea.
Judging from the, here's another one with the name on what we would consider the back. Judging by the graves out here, I'd say late 1800s, but there were some continued family burials out here. This is our father, Amos Lassiter, born November 4th, 1824, died October 28th, 1897.
Wow. You know, there was probably, like some of the houses that we passed that are growing over in the woods, they're still standing and they're old wood. So I would go so far as to say it's very possible that people were living as a community around here maybe as late as the 60s, possibly earlier than that. But I would venture to say that when they died, probably people did not keep up their houses. So we're probably possibly looking at a rate of decay since since the parents passed away. So it's very possible that it was, well into the 20th century. But definitely the heartbeat of this community stopped beating in the late 1800s.
Yeah, I
very
agree.
early 1900s.
Probably people continued to live in the houses that formed the community
Yes.
up until there, but I would say that they weren't the community anymore.
Right. No, absolutely.
Here's Mary Lassiter. Lots of Lassiters out here. April 23rd, 1850. Died October 23rd, 1927. James Lassiter, July 12th, 1857 to January 25th, 1929. So that's a couple generations of family right there of Lassiter. This is another granite marker that looks newer. Is Charlie Lassiter, died 1933.
Yeah, no birth date.
So this is a handmade stone,
Wow.
poured concrete. I can make out died July 1934. This one is also not going to be here too long. You can see it's decaying and cracking, and it's going to get covered up and forgotten about. See if you can make out the name on that one. Looks like
Looks like Brassel.
Brassel.
It looks like it's crude Brasuell. Brasuel.
This is 1934, is Depression era.
We got a Robert Braswell.
And being that this is in the 30s during the Depression, this is probably all they could afford to do. Back then, I see that a lot with Depression era graves that are just handmade or handwritten.
Especially out in an agricultural community.
Yeah.
Crops probably weren't doing too well.
So these are two graves that also have newer looking granite headstones. And so I don't know that these are actually newer. Just that type of stone may have fared much better. There's Lawrence Riley Witt, March 1858 to December 30th, 1936. And over here, Cody, will you move that vegetation for me? We've got Lucy. Wait, step over here and Lucy Hale Witt, October 5th, 1884 to November 28th, 1946. This is interesting, very interesting right here. Here's Earl W., son of L.R. and Susie Witt, born February 17th, 1892, died at Camp Wheeler, November 28th, 1917.
Wow. Camp Wheeler was a United States Army base near Macon, Georgia. The camp was a staging location for many U.S. Army units during World War I and World War II. It was named for Joseph Wheeler, a general in the Confederate States of America's Army.
That's interesting. This Macon's not too terribly far away. There's another grave right here. Just a stone. And another one in really bad shape right here. This, to me, almost looks like it goes to something else. This is probably maybe a footstone here. That's probably what that was. And here's the headstone right here. Cody's pointing out another one that's sunken in right there. See if we can make anything off of this one. Lots of fire ants. All right, so there's nothing on this stone right here. Just gonna put it back like it was. It almost feels like there's writing right there. I think there is actually.
Yeah, there's something.
Yeah, there is writing on it on this side of it, but it's it's well worn. I don't think that I'll be able to make that out at all, unfortunately. All right, so if you look through the woods, we've got some more graves all throughout these woods. It's interesting, it looks like somebody's keeping up this area of the cemetery relatively well. I mean, someone cuts the grass and keeps the trees from taking over, but then they just stop at this line right here. But there's still more graves continued out there, out here. So
Yeah, like what's that about?
watch out for snakes.
Oh, yeah. I don't think ticks will be too bad of a problem because of the rain.
There's actually quite a few of them out here. I just saw those.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Oh wow, there's even more out there.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess we'll kind of make our way through and start back here. There's a big tree that's fallen, an old cedar. All right, so I don't see any more out there. So we'll start here and then work our way back. This is a Confederate grave. First Corps, Mark H. Fletcher, First Corporal. Company H, 64th Georgia Infantry, Confederate States of America, September 13th, 1818, died August 30th, 1883. I gotta say, this stone has fared really, really well.
Yeah.
Throughout the years. It all the black still in there, outlining the names. Usually it's all gone. It's kind of,
Look at this, MHF. This is like a marker stone with the initials on it.
it's either a footstone or maybe this was his original stone before the
Yeah.
they put up the Confederate marker.
Because this looks later than the.
This is Mark Fletcher. These are beautiful, beautiful headstones right here. I just got to point that out. That one, we'll get to that one in a moment, but you can see already it's been broken and repaired at some time.
That's good. Usually you don't see them repaired.
And there's another something right there. Let's see.
Interesting.
See what this is. I don't see any writing on it. Oh, yeah, I do see writing on it. It's up here, so the top part is broken off. It may be up there. So this is a third one right here that would have been the same size as that one. We can see aged 61 years, 11 months, and so many days. I wonder if we can find the rest of that one. Wonder if it's... I was hoping maybe it was up here just under the leaves, but I don't see the rest of it.
Yeah.
Cody, look out there. Just kind of walk around and kick the leaves and see if maybe you can find the other part of the stone. Yeah, I saw that. I don't think that's the one to that one though. All right, so we have Mark H. Fletcher, born September 12th, 1818, died August 30th, 1889, aged 64 years, 11 months, 8 days. That's interesting. That's the same, aged 64 years, 11 months. How many days is on that one? 8 days?
Look at this.
Yeah.
Like what Cody just pointed out, this is nearly the identical information to that tombstone.
Oh, it sure is.
But the death date is a little off. That's what, 86? No, that's 83.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the same.
No, yeah, that's the same. Okay, I see what's going on here. So Mark H. Fletcher, born September 12th, 1818, died August 30th, 1888. Same Mark Fletcher here, obviously. I just read this information and didn't recognize it. There's one thing that's different. The born date, September 12th on that one, September 13th on this one. The death date's exactly the same. But so that is his footstone, probably for his original grave right there. And then at some point, they put up his Confederate monument at the footstone.
So originally he probably just had a civilian tombstone.
Yeah.
And they came out and marked it.
And it honestly looks like this one may be another one for him, maybe just replaced at some time, because this says 18 days, but it's the same information, age 64 years, 11 months. Oh, that is 18 days, not 8 days. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that this was an earlier tombstone for him, just replaced at some point. So he's got three headstones out here.
And this is interesting, the broken one.
Yeah, the broken one that's repaired. All right, sorry about that, guys. My camera died in the middle of recording. Hopefully I got all the information of this neat grave right here, again with the 3 headstones. But had to switch batteries. And over here we have, I'm assuming, Mark Fletcher's wife, Martha Fletcher, Martha J. Fletcher, born April 24th, 1823, died June 15th, 1870, aged 46 years, 8 months, and 21 days. She died relatively young. All right, so we'll continue over here. Here's another fallen headstone. We'll clear the leaves off of it.
It makes you wonder why they take care of the front of the cemetery but don't tend to the back part.
Absolutely. Maybe it's just a thing where you can see those graves from the road, and these are further back, so they just don't care. Maybe not. Maybe that's so. I can't come up with a good reason for that. Here's William Miller, born July 24th, 1811. It looks like 1811.
Wow.
Died October 30th, 1859. So this is one of the older graves out here. I don't read the writing at the bottom of a grave a lot because I have a hard time making it out.
Somebody's gonna get you told about that.
So, yeah. Is J.A. Miller, born, I'll push this tree back a little bit, born June 11th, 1852, died June 9th, 1885. All right, so I'm gonna try to make it over to the to these graves over here. They're also in the trees in the bush here. This is Joseph E., son of W.H. and Victoria Lassiter. I guess this is another broken one. Born April 16th, 1885. Let's see if there's, yeah, that's just a broken one right there, so we'll lay that back like it was. You won't be able to read a death date on that one, and I don't see another piece around here. Of course, it could have very quickly gotten covered over by these leaves and sunk into the ground. While we're over here, I'll go ahead and look at this one. This is Alice Irene, daughter of G.W. and C.A. Dillard. Born October 24th, 1864, died May 15th, 1898. It says came home at the bottom. And back over here into the woods, here's Victoria, which is mother of Joseph, if I recall correctly, the name over here. It's interesting, some kind of writing at the top. Let me try to make that out. It looks like will be. And bear with me for a minute, guys and gals. Oh, his will be done. Victoria, wife of W.H. Lassiter, born February 20th, 1863. Died, and that one's really down in the ground there. I don't really want to pull that one up. I think we'll just leave that one alone for now without being able to see a death date on it.
Yeah, that one's in pieces.
We're also kind of running out of time. I'll look back here real quick and see if there's any more graves. I don't see any more, just where a cedar tree got cut up. And several dead cedar trees out here. So it looks like these are the final 3 graves, at least, that are marked. There probably are many more that are not marked. I'm sure of that.
Similar to the Magnolia Spring Cemetery.
This is Gail. Let me make sure I said that right. Maybe not. Let me read that. Carl, sorry, Carl. Son of C.P. and Jesse Siege. Born September 19th, 1892. Died June 4th, 1898. And these graves, again, you can see the writing is facing that way, the back of what we would consider the back of the headstone. Except for this one.
I thought it was more respectful, so you're not standing on them.
This one is facing the other way. This one might be a challenge to read. This one's definitely going to be a challenge to read. This is where I need some crayon and paper to be able to read it. Maybe we'll be able to make it out on video. Show it, just in case any of y'all can make it out. And get that moss off of there. You can see that all right. Died 1895. Right, and then over here, this is Susan Harriet, daughter of C.W. and G.A. Dillard. Born February 9th, 1860. Make sure I'm seeing that right. It looks like 1866. Died August 15th, 1889. And one more I almost did not see here. We have Sally, another daughter of G.W. and C.A. Dillard. Born February 14th, 1875. Died, looks like 1875. This is just a baby. Definitely you can see by the length it's a child's grave. So these are all siblings right here. And that seems to conclude the graves that we can see out here, the marked ones at least. Before we leave, we're gonna look through the woods a little bit, make sure there's none we missed. But I hope you enjoyed this cemetery visit. After this video, we're gonna go down and check out another one, but that's gonna be a different video. So look for that one after this one. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you on the next adventure.